Close your eyes and imagine a snapshot of India in 1947. The majority of people are farmers. A few are artisans. Fewer still work in factories or offices. This was India's occupational structure under British rule, an economy deeply rooted in agriculture, with limited industrial or service sector participation. In today's video, we'll break down the distribution of the working population across sectors, agriculture, industry, and services, and what it tells us about India's underdevelopment. Let's begin with a definition. Occupational structure refers to how a country's working population is distributed among different sectors of the economy: primary sector, like farming; secondary sector, like manufacturing; and tertiary sector, like services. In a developed country, more people work in industry and services. But in colonial India, the picture was completely different. Here are the numbers. 70 to 75% of the Indian workforce was engaged in agriculture. That means almost 3 out of every 4 Indians worked on farms or in related activities. The industrial sector employed only about 10%. The services sector, administration, transport, education, had about 15 to 20%. These numbers clearly show a skewed structure where the majority of people worked in low productivity, subsistence farming. Regional variations, uneven development, but this wasn't uniform across the country. Some regions showed early signs of occupational diversification. In Madras Presidency, now Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Karnataka, Bombay, now Maharashtra, and Bengal, there was a noticeable shift from agriculture to industry and services. Why? These regions had access to early industries like textiles and jute mills, colonial administrative offices, and better transport like railways and ports. But in contrast, states like Odisha, Rajasthan, and Punjab continued to rely almost entirely on agriculture. Let's understand this with a simple analogy. Imagine 3 friends: one works on a farm, one builds machines, one teaches in a school. Now imagine if all 3 worked only on the farm, what would happen to manufacturing and services? This was India's situation. Even though population was large, most of the workforce remained trapped in agriculture. Result? Low productivity, low income, and no growth in other sectors. Let's interpret this. If 75% of people work in agriculture, but agriculture contributes only, say, 40% to GDP, then per worker productivity is very low. This mismatch between employment and output is a sign of an underdeveloped economy. To conclude, India's occupational structure before independence reflected deep structural challenges: overdependence on agriculture, negligible industrial workforce, and limited access to modern services. This lopsided distribution was a direct result of British policies that ignored capacity building in education, skills, and industrialization. After independence, one of India's goals was to rebalance this structure by creating jobs in manufacturing and services. In the next video, we'll explore another important area, infrastructure, and ask, did the British really modernize India, or was it all just for their gain? Let's find out.